Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is Leading Off, brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. It's me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia with me, of course, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts, the Cracker Jacks. You're all here hanging out with us, talking some baseball on a beautiful Wednesday morning here in New Jersey. Oh, it is so nice. This is like fall, I think, probably in Arizona, where Welsh is, but we've got a lot of baseball to get to, some key injuries.
It was 109 yesterday, by the way.
109, right? But who's counting? 109.
Beautiful, beautiful 109.
But it's a dry heat. It's always the dry heat. That's what they tell you.
It's gorgeous.
And Welsh, you called this. You said, I wonder what's the next managerial shoe to drop. And yesterday, late afternoon, the news broke that the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, after 12 straight losses, decided to move on from their manager, Joe Maddon. So we're going to put all the individual achievements off to the side here. We got to talk about this because this is big news. It's huge. Joe Maddon goes back to those 2002 Angel teams that won the championship there. He's been part of that organization before. Long-term Angel guy, had great success with the Rays, had obviously the amazing success with the Cubs winning the World Series, breaking the streak. And then, here we are with the Angels 5 years in. He is a little below 500, so I understand that. He is at 477 winning percentage, so I can understand that. But Welsh, I want to set you up with this today. If you had a great start to the season, which they did, and then you had a terrible part of the season, which they did, doesn't Joe Maddon deserve that third round look to say, okay, what do you do with the next 25 games?
Yeah, I mean, you and I off air, I was like, if I would have told you in March that Joe Girardi and Joe Maddon would both not be managing teams on June 8th, how wild would that have sounded? The Maddon stuff, I really don't get as well. Just 12 games really unravel what he has been as a manager. But unlike, there was actually a situation going on yesterday. One of your former co-hosts, Craig Mish, was tweeting about this really weird situation going on with the Marlins, where the Marlins had this like closed door meeting that wasn't about the performance, but maybe about liking each other, and then said it wasn't resolved. That's very public. This is a very public thing. There has to be something very behind the scenes that we don't know about this situation. I mean, Mike Trout is very uniquely different, I think, than a lot of stars, but I find it hard to believe that he wasn't consulted on this. Shohei Ohtani had a nice little message about it, but then just kind of moved on. How would the team be comfortable that 12 straight losses completely alters and changes somebody who's very important, whether they've been massively successful, which isn't all Maddon. It's also roster construction. I don't know, pitching.
Sure.
Having guys like Dylan Bundy over the years.
Well,
there's something bigger. There's something bigger there that we don't know.
Stars and scrub team. They've been a stars and scrub team for the last 15 years. If you go back to the Josh Hamilton contract, the Albert Pujols contract, I mean, they have spent a ton of money on star power, and they've been lacking in the pitching department for some time. And that's a tough pill to swallow. And when you have, I understand they paid Mike Trout, and you should pay Mike Trout, and I understand wanting to do that.
Sure.
But this is the problems with the stars and scrubs roster construction at the big league level is you don't have depth. So when you have injuries like Mike Trout getting hurt last couple of years, right, or Ohtani getting hurt last couple of years, it's really tough to kind of bounce back. Like, you don't have the depth in the organization, and they haven't done a good job of growing a lot of prospects. CJ Cron was in that organization, and they let him go. Jared Walsh has been there. He's been good. I mean, Taylor Ward has had a good season, but he's 28 years old. So I don't want to do like a victory lap about like the scouting department on him.
Well,
that's the problem. Welsh.
That's actually a real thing. And by the way, just want to tout, as a very respected manager in the baseball world with my tout team, I did the Angels thing. And it didn't work for me. So clearly the Angels could just learn from me. That's how they could do. But no, that's 100% it too. Their scouting department has actually been kind of ripped over the last couple of years. They've done weird stuff, even at the lowest levels. But I felt like maybe Maddon's lackadaisical attitude, there is something more behind the scenes with it, because I refuse to believe a 12-game streak did this, because look at the roster construction. They could not get pitching. They kept spending money in other directions. The development, which isn't just on Maddon. I mean, he's trying to win games at the major league level. The development of Joe Adell and guys like that, and Brandon Marsh, like that can't be the whole thing. I don't think he's mismanaged the team. Raiso Iglesias has closed out games. He got an MVP season out of Shohei Ohtani. Mike Trout can't stay healthy. It's something deeper intertwined, or it could be as simple as, Madden might have just been like, yeah, maybe I'm not the guy. Maybe I'm done.
Yeah,
They're always very
I misspoke.
lackadaisical as well.
I misspoke earlier. I'm looking at Baseball Reference. He's been there for 3 years as manager. He was there for longer in the organization, so Baseball Reference kind of loops everything in there. And I was
Yeah,
like,
he
wait a
was
minute, he could have
Cubs
been
and
there
then
5
Rays
years.
before that.
Yeah. So, but he was with the Angels when he first started as a coach. So it gives you that as part of the accumulation, which is really a weird way to look at it because he wasn't the manager then. But look, this is a 3-time manager of the year that
Yeah.
you've let go. So I don't know if this is going to be the fix for the Angels. It's actually, spoiler alert, it's not going to be the fix for the Angels. Let's just put that out there and just move on.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to some of the other things here. We have some guy named Justin Verlander, 12 strikeouts. Ooh, wee, baby. Let's go. Joey P is going to make a lot of money. I not only doubled down on Verlander for Cy Young, Welsh. A few weeks ago, I tripled down. So
no,
I am. I'll show you
You're
the bet
all
slip.
in?
I am all in. I am all in. Literally over $1,000 will come my way if Verlander wins that.
I just looked the other day.
Baby.
Verlander, he's not at the lead spot though, is he? You know what? We were looking at awards. The one we didn't look at was Cy Young. We were looking at Rookie of the Year and
He's
MVP.
still the top in the American League for Cy Young.
I
don't know what it is today after that performance. My guess is it's gone down even more. I will look in a second and tell you that. But before we get to that, Starling Marte left the game with a quad for the Mets in the shutout loss to the Padres. Darvish was great. Darvish also hit Pete Alonso on the hand. So the x-rays came back negative, but they are going for the MRI today. I don't think we have news yet on the MRI. Have you seen anything to the contrary?
I haven't seen anything. I just know the fear. There was a fracture fear, and I think that fear is gone. So other than that, small stent is a win at this point, if it's that. But, Pete Alonso, he's tough.
Justin Verlander plus 400 on FanDuel right now to win
No one's ahead of him?
Cy Young. No. Little leader, 400. McClanahan's at 650. Garrett Cole's at 650. Nestor Cortez 800.
I mean,
over on Betting Pros, similar numbers there.
Love McClanahan here, but I think that at 400,
you can love them all you want. The Justin Verlander comeback train narrative is going to be strong.
4-1 also very much shows you that it's quite a field. It's quite a field right now. Like if you look at Rookie of the Year, I don't know if it's changed. We looked 2 days ago, but like Mackenzie Gore is at 1.6 on your money to win Rookie of the Year in the NL. Mm-hmm. Like it's not locked up because you're not in the minus money, but they're telling you that's the bet. 400 is very open. Like what is Alcantara if you have it for NL? I would bet he was
800 on Friday when I put some money down on him, but right now currently we are looking at,
but he's better.
He is sitting at 650 plus 650.
Really? Right, is there anybody above him?
Mm-hmm. Yep, just Corbin Burns at 500. So this is more wide open. Alcantara is at 650.
Very wide open.
Joe Musgrove's at 650. And it's funny because I had Musgrove at I think 10-1. I had the shares. I cashed out of Walker Buehler about 4 weeks ago. Put those shares into Musgrove at 10-1, and then Alcantara, at plus 800. And this is how you look on FanDuel. If you can play like the stock market where you can cash out if you don't like how things are going and take that money and
I got to tell you, it is one of my favorite things because I've got a lot of my futures bets this year on DraftKings and I'm not loving it. Where I had my futures in the NFL on FanDuel. And I loved it because at one point we had Aaron Rodgers at MVP. Boggs and I did a dual bet together and it looked great. And then it started to fall apart, but we still made money on it because we were able to cash.
Right.
That's really is a nice feature.
You can play it like the stock market. You can invest. You can take out my Julio share. Oh, I'll tell you about how good that looks right now. Ooh, that looks good. Let's do another one here. Oh, look at this. Mike Mayer loves this. The Angel. He's piling on not only Pujols and Hamilton, but also Justin Upton. Gary Matthews, Vernon Wells. I forgot about the Vernon Wells one.
I liked Vernon Wells
for the Angels too. I did too, but a terrible contract. So Darvish, 7 shutout frames. Kyle Wright, career high 8 innings and a win. He has been an absolute revelation. Ronald Acuna, not 1 but 2 homers. Wasn't the only guy who went yard. Some guy from the Astros, Jordan Alvarez, went yard. Also, more on that to come. Marcus Semien, 4 for 4, 2 homers and a steal. I hope you listen to Uncle Joe and went out there and made all the trades for Marcus Semien over the last 2 weeks. And the Yankees are the first in Major League Baseball to 40 wins, so congratulations to them. Xander Bogaerts, though, shoulder issue. He's pushing to play Wednesday. We'll see if that happens. Trout doesn't seem, quote, too alarmed about the tight groin, but I think you should be too alarmed about the tight groin because it could always be a problem. Hopefully he'll sit out for a few days and just rest it and not do something stupid. And Luis Ariz, who exited the game with shoulder tightness, is going to be held out today. So if you got him in a lineup, take him out of that lineup. Before we get to, can we talk about this? We need to talk about Omaha Steaks, because Father's Day is literally around the corner, and Omaha Steaks has the Dads Want Steak package. And look, I'm telling you, treat yourselves. If no one's going to buy this for you, go out there and get it for yourself. Go to Omaha Steaks, and here's what you do. In the search bar, put in leading off. Now, I know people are getting confused. They're putting leading off in the promo code section. No. Put in the search bar leading off. That's going to take you right to our special that we got going on right now. 16 mouth-watering entrees. You got the Franks, you got the boneless chicken breast, you got the bacon wrapped filet mignons, and so much more. And of course, my favorite, the caramel apple tartlets. All of that can be yours. Go to the search engine, put in leading off at omahasteaks.com. And when you do, you get 8 free of the steak burgers as well, which are fantastic, individually wrapped, vacuum sealed. It's what you need. So once again, that promo code is leading off in the search engine over on omahasteaks.com, where the beef is yours. And look, man, it makes a nice gift for yourself, nice gift for somebody else. It's
something
nice
I've always
to
said,
have.
Joe, something I've always said
What's
that you said earlier is if no one else is going to get it for you, when you get older, you learn because you have jobs and you have money and stuff.
Get it for yourself.
You just get your stuff that you want. You
Just treat
don't
yourself.
wait around. Don't be like, "Ooh, who's going to get me the presents and stuff?" Just get it for yourself, because guess what? You always win. You always win. And you should do it today.
I mean, look, I've learned this lesson as a single 40-year-old man for the last few years. If you want something, you just have to get it for yourself, because, God bless your children. They might every now and then surprise you, but really, you're on your own here. No one's buying anything for you.
Yeah.
You're an old person. You just get it for yourself. Treat yourself. It's summertime. Go barbecue. All right, let's talk about this. Alek Manoah, 7-1, a 1.81 ERA. Another Cy Young contender when you think about it in the American League, for sure. But if you're looking at him in terms of his odds right now, he is all the way, where is he? Cy Young in the American League, he is plus 900 still. He just can't compete with some of these other guys. But Alek Manoah is really taking that next step. I remember Nick Pollock, especially before in the preseason, we had him on, and that was his dude. This guy's been incredible. Your thoughts on Alek Manoah and his value right now in Dynasty of how good he's been?
Yeah, I moved him up. I just did an update over at endlessleague.com on my dynasty ranks, and he got the big boost. I actually have a pitcher number 1 in dynasty who is not Garrett Cole or Corbin Burns. It's not Manoah, but Manoah moved way up, and you moved Manoah over guys like Walker Buehler and stuff at this point. I will say this is a twofold thing. I don't love the massive drop in strikeouts. I don't know if you're paying attention to it. Massive. Last year, 10K per 9 over 100 innings. He's under 8 right now this year. And I've really paid attention on 2 starts, and he does not get the calls on strikes anymore. And it doesn't look like he's pitching to it, which is okay, because he's also cut his walk per 9 in half. That's really good. But from a fantasy perspective, it's limiting him a little bit. You've also got an almost 2-run differential between ERA and xFIP, which, again, it's not the biggest thing in the world. When you have a 1.8 ERA, you're going to have a higher xFIP, but it's almost 2 runs, and it's almost at 3.73. So while I think Alek Manoah is incredible, there's some things that are limiting. The inverse thing about that is the Blue Jays team, for the most part, has been relatively underperforming. As a whole, I don't know what they've been dealing with. You saw a lot of strikeout issues early on. You've seen them just trying to click and get their batting average back up, whether it's been Teoscar or Bichette or even Vlad Guerrero Jr. And you could potentially throw some of the pitching in there as well. That I think he's interesting from a betting standpoint, simply because he's been dominating without the fantasy stats, and he's on a team that hasn't even got hot. That's why I think he's interesting there. From a dynasty perspective, very valuable because he's young. I don't love the strikeout. Like, I think a fantastic dynasty conversation would be Dylan Cease or Alek Manoah. Cease, walk issues, but all the strikeouts in the world, was dominant for 6 weeks. Or Alek Manoah, who he's getting it done, but his strikeout numbers, they're just not there.
They're not. I wonder if that's something, though, that will continue to get better. I mean, Cease has been around the league for a couple of years now, so I feel like we kind of have a good idea of who he is. I wonder if Manoah to me would be my choice, because I think there might be another gear in him that we haven't seen as he gets older, whereas Cease has been in the league another 2 extra years. And I know the COVID year is short, it's a little weird.
But Cease's strikeout numbers, I mean, this is the tough part.
Oh, no, you're right. You're
he
right.
looked like Shane McClanahan to start the year. Strikeout numbers 9, 10
Mhm.
a game, just flipping the curveballs and fastball past everybody, picking up wins. But then he's really fallen apart, which makes it tough. Manoah he's got your ERA covered. He's got 7 wins on the year. He can go deep into games. These are all really great things. It might not be close if you really put it down, but there are some people that live and die by strikeouts, especially in the dynasty format. And I think at this moment, Manoah probably wins that 65%. I'd be curious what people think. But
It's
I do think
interesting.
it's a bigger question. And you don't want to tear a guy down just because they can't strike out guys right now or whatever the adjustment is. Manoah's phenomenal. And he's borderline top 5 SP in Dynasty at this point. MVP is a really, really interesting thing to do. You just wonder, is a guy going to do it without any of those strikeout numbers? But, if he's got 18 wins, he's got 7 wins through June right now, regardless of the strikeout numbers, be damned. He is a winner.
Great offense too. You know
that
that
hasn't
offense is going to
gotten
be good for
hot.
years to
That's what I'm
come.
saying.
No, and they haven't even been there yet. No. This was a fun tweet too from friend of the show, Michael Govier. Go support good people on Twitter and at MJ Govier. He said, I drafted Garrett Whitlock with the expectation he would close. It's June 7th, and he's got 1 save. He's been up and down as a starting pitcher while their closer situation is the worst in Major League Baseball. I hope Bostonians have been ripping the team's management this season for this. Garrett Whitlock, is it time for him to go back and to become the closer and be a dominant guy there?
I would like him to be. That's what I've always kind of wanted. The starting pitcher thing has, he's had a couple blow-ups that I think have really pushed the narrative of like, he can't be here. He can't be a starter. But here's the bottom line. What his value would be as a closer to what his value is as a starter, it's not remotely close. It's exponentially different. He is a mediocre starter at best. A reliever, he could be a top 10 reliever if, you had somebody that could lock down games for Boston. So yeah, they don't have anybody that they really like. Diekman, Barnes, no, none of them work. I would love to see Garrett Whitlock in there, but you got kind of an aging rotation that I don't think they want to move away. Tanner Houck hasn't worked. I think that's also changed a little bit as well. Yes, I would love to see Garrett Whitlock back in the reliever role, and it would, I think, double his fantasy value instantly.
And if this isn't a plug for the century, head over to Mike Mayer's Twitter account for some daily thoughts on the Red Sox front office. There you go.
Who could be messaging in the chat from the FantasyPros MLB official account?
I know, right? Here we go. Fun facts: Justin Verlander 7-2, struck out season high 12 batters in 7 innings, and that put him at 3,086 for his career. He moved past his former teammate Max Scherzer for the active strikeout leader among pitchers, and then went past John Smoltz, who was one of Verlander's big guys growing up as a kid, I guess. So there you have it. Justin Verlander making a little bit of history there. So if you want a trivia question, boom, there you go. This day in baseball history in 1989, after taking a 10-0 lead in the top of the first inning, Pittsburgh's best inning since 1942, the Pirates lose to the Phillies 15-11. After the season, Pirates broadcaster Jim Rooker conducts a charity walk from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh as a result of his on-air promise to walk home if the Pirates blew that early lead, which they did. So he did. Once again, Welsh, this was that theme of old announcers saying stupid things. But there you go. This was one that ended up working out for charity. I just thought that was fun. Could you imagine?
I like that
the walk
one.
from Philly to Pittsburgh. That was.
Can you imagine anybody? Here's the other thing too. Can you imagine anybody today now actually like committing to that? I can't imagine one.
Yeah, Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen would do something like that. If he said something, he'd be like, yep. And then he would be good for it. Because
But I mean like a play-by-play, like get like a play-by-play guy on a team.
Yeah.
Like anybody going to do that?
I mean, Joe Buck's a good personality. I think, everyone hates Joe Buck except me. I don't know why.
I don't hate Joe Buck
Joe Buck
either.
Is amazing.
That's weird. We might be the only podcast hosted by people that don't hate Joe Buck.
Because we know how hard this is, and we know what it's like to go from a football show to a baseball show in the same day, back and forth. This dude doesn't see his family for like months at a time.
Totally.
And it's unbelievable what he's been able to do.
The only thing that really pissed me off about Joe Buck was when he got on his, and if you've ever listened to him, he's been on podcasts and stuff like that. He's got a funny personality. He's got a mouth too.
Yeah.
When he lost his mind about Randy Moss fake mooning the crowd, and he was like, that's disgusting. Like that was like get out of here. Like that was the moment where I was like, this sucks. And then I think
it was
he just
this
kind of
guy. It wasn't cool. I mean, honestly,
what was it? He just was like, woo, fake moon. He didn't even pull his pants down. It was the dumbest thing to get up in arms about, to like just be I don't know.
You got to realize the time it was too. That was the late 90s where we were still transitioning into that. It's okay to be flamboyant and fun. And it was encouraged. It was still all these unwritten rules of all the sports still going on.
Had the Janet Jackson thing happened yet?
No.
I wonder, because I wonder it would make a little bit more sense if like this was a year or two after that. And then I don't know, maybe it did, because then the censors and stuff were really tight, and maybe he did something like that. But
let's see if we can get the years. I thought that all of that stuff. Well, I know that was the Super Bowl with the Patriots in it. So that was.
I feel like it happened a year or two after that, which would make all the censor stuff really, really intense.
Yeah.
But still, it's the dumbest thing, and I think it made people not like him. But
here you go. Here's your real trivia question. Who's the most recent pitcher to throw consecutive 9-inning complete games? The most recent pitcher to throw consecutive 9-inning complete games. If you got the answer, drop it in the chat over here. And remember, you have to be a subscriber to Fantasy Pros MLB in order to speak to us. Not just anyone can talk to me in Welsh. Who is it?
Nolan Ryan?
No. It's somebody pitching right now.
They're still pitching in baseball, and they went back-to-back complete games?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Wait. Complete. Throw consecutive 9-inning complete games. So that doesn't mean any shutouts. Oh,
it is not Kershaw.
Is it Sandy Alcantara?
No, it is not. But we'll let people keep guessing. In the meantime, here's the stat heroes from yesterday. Yu Darvish, 7 scoreless, 6 Ks. Michael Kopech, 6 innings, no earned, 8 Ks. I saw somebody earlier in the chat ask, is this the window to trade Kopech? I still say no, because guys are dropping like flies. If you got anybody performing well, who's got talent, I keep them, unless you're getting an overpay. Welsh, what do you say about Kopech?
Yeah, no, I completely, exactly how you said it. Like, he has been overperforming his stats a little bit, but unless someone's overpaying, like, why even at this point? Kopech doesn't hold that like really crazy high value back, but unless he does, then move him.
Our favorite DFS pairing last night was Justin Verlander and Tariq Skubal. Skubal, 7 innings, 3 earned, 9 Ks. It was a lock against the Pirates. Lock it up. Hitters last night, Jazz Chisholm, 2 dingers for him. Great night for him. Ron Acuna had the 2 bombs. Simeon had the 3 bombs. Aaron Judge, another home run. Jorge Polanco with a hot night, 4 for 5 with a dinger. And Ahmed Rosario, 4 for 9. Your boy with 2 steals, Welsh, not 1, 2. Here's the losers. John Gray. I'll take the L on John Gray. There we go. They happy, everybody? Okay, there you go. We had also Tyler Gilbert, 6 earned runs. Adon give up 8 earned runs. Keegan Thompson, 7 earned runs. Whitlock was bad also, 4 innings, 4 earned. Jose Quintana, 4 earned. So he's starting to look like
I was watching that Diamondback game. Tyler Gilbert was just, not anyone cares. He was getting lit. I've never seen someone just throw BP balls like him in quite a while. It was home run after home run after home run after double. It was quite an experience to watch, especially seeing the Reds succeed like that.
The answer is not Corbin Burns, and it's not Shane Bieber to the trivia question. I'll reveal it after these loser hitters. Jared Walsh continues to struggle, 0 for 5, 3 Ks. Adolis Garcia, how about 0 for 8, the double dip? Well done, Adolis. 2 Ks there. Jose Ramirez, a rare 0 for 7, but he still walked twice and stole a base because he's awesome. So he doesn't belong here. Mike Mayer put him in the loser hitters. Never Jose Ramirez.
He must have gave a ball to a kid or something. That's why he put him in there.
Jesse Winker, 0 for 5 with 3 Ks. Mike Mayer's favorite buy low. So there you go, everybody. Enjoy that. I give you Marcus Semien. He gives you Jesse Winker. Austin Riley, 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. Not good. And Michael Chavis, 0 for 4 with 4. Now, look, here's the answer. It is Corey Kluber. And it was in 2017 with the Indians, August 3rd and August 8th. People forget the Corey Kluber Cy Young run there. You forget about how good he was and how dominant he was. And he was a guy who would go out there and throw 9 innings. So the answer is the Klubes.
I'm looking. No one got it, too. I'm just scanning through. I don't see it.
No. Now, just so you know, 50 home runs were called correctly last night. 50! An amazing number. A spectacular number. Aaron Judge has been called 358 times, and 155 of our total is Aaron Judge calls, which is easy, but something that I want to bring to everybody's attention. Somebody else is on the board. Who's that? That's right, Joey P. Tied with a bunch of people at 16, but he's right behind Mike Mayer. Mike Mayer's got 17. Joey P's got 16. Yeah, it's all the same people at the top. Yeah, it's the Blum. It's High Cubby 2016. It's the Chaser at 20. It's all the people it doesn't matter. Joey P made the board. in June. Let's go. I'm one behind Mike Mayer. Welsh, I expect you to join me on this board sooner than later. So
I got 12. I got some work to do. I mean, being here more, I'm at least for the rest of this month, I'll be on Wednesdays. So that might give me, I got to get my off days stuff. I got to get some on there 100%.
That's right. I did manipulate the board to get my name on there because I have friends in high places who make the board. And I said, make sure you put that board up and make sure, I don't care who's tied with who, that I'm right behind Mike Mayer. That's all I want him to start to fear me. That's what I want.
I think he does.
Wonky Peng wants to know how many Omaha steaks do you send to the board guy? That's between me and Ethan. Okay, that's
what tartlets are given between Ethan and Joe are their business.
Don't you dare call Ethan a tartlet. He's a wonderful person and a heck of a football player too. I learned that on our retreat. All right, let's go to Betting Pros because it's time for a little BetMGM, the king of sports books. Bet $10, win $200 on any wager, regardless of the outcome. When you use the promo code leading off, go to betmgm.com or the BetMGM app in order to make your wagers. Today, we're back on the hitters for the most part, too. Vlad Guerrero Jr. on DK, 1.5 total bases. That's a plus 110. You get even money on Bo Bichette for the same thing, 1.5. I love the Cedric Mullins 0.5. It's only minus 105. To me, this is a smash on DK at Cedric Mullins. I would smash this all the way. And then the strikeouts with Chris Bassett at 4.5 on DK. I think that's too low. Especially with the Padres. Give me, I know it's minus 175. It's a lot of juice, but I still like that. Welsh, what do you like on the prop market tonight?
I really do like, I actually like your Vlad and your Cedric Mullins one is fantastic. 2 pitcher props. This one's kind of a high number, but I've been into him. Aaron Nola. And I think this is a fade on what FantasyPros has got. His strikeout prop is at 7.5, but I actually like the over on that one. He didn't hit it in his last game, but he would have hit it in his previous 3. He's going up against Milwaukee, which Milwaukee currently on the strikeout front is in the bottom 5 of the league. Over the last 3 games, they've struck out almost 10 times a game. And I had happened to actually be doing this for something else. And a fun little fact about Aaron Nola, since May 7th, no one has a lower walk percentage of pitchers that have a 25% or higher K percentage, if that makes sense to you. So guys that have 25% K percentage, no one has a lower walk percentage than Aaron Nola. And this equates to the 3rd best walk minus strikeout minus walk percentage in baseball, only behind Shane McClanahan and Corbin Burns. So my point is, he's striking out guys at a pretty good clip right now, pretty valuable, and Milwaukee strikes out like crazy. The other one, I kind of like Tony Gonsolin strikeouts under, even though he's been someone I have been betting. He's going up against the Chicago White Sox. He's been in that 5 or 6 range. White Sox 3rd best in the league in strikeouts, going around 7. In the last 3, they've only had 5 per game. Kind of struggling there. So under 5.5 strikeouts on Gonsolin, over 7.5 on Aaron Nola. Those are my picks. And I love your Cedric Mullins and Vladdy one.
Yeah, Cedric Mullins is a smash. I mean, I can't believe that should be like minus 130 on the juice, somewhere around there. All right, let's get to the DFS stuff here for the night. Simple night. Keep it simple, stupid. Nestor Cortez, 10.3 on DK. Just keep investing in him against the Minnesota Twins.
Like every show I've done with you, Nestor Cortez has been available, and it's always the play. Every single time we're sitting out here and we're like, hey,
and is it ever
Nestor
wrong?
Cortez. Kiss, stupid.
Everyone's trying to be so different. Stop trying to be different. Just be right. Just be right. And if you don't want to go at Cortez, you want some differential there, then I would team up Aaron Nola and Tony Gonsolin. Otherwise, you're going to go with Nestor Cortez, and I would take Chris Bassett on the other side. Even though in tournaments, especially, I think Bassett's appealing tonight because everybody will look at that Mets lineup. And if they don't have Marte and if they don't have Alonso in that lineup, which is probable, people will be off of it. So if Bassett plays well and the Padres offense struggles a bit, which is very possible, Bassett becomes a huge win. He's only 8.2 on DK. So that's my favorite pairing of Cortez and Bassett in the tournament scenario. On FanDuel, you got to pay all the way up to $11K for Nestor Cortez. I think it's worth it. If you want to save $1,000 and go to Aaron Nola against Hauser, you can do that too. Tony Gonsolin's 9.4, so he is even cheaper. And I would just stay away altogether on the single pitcher site from the Bassett Mania thing. You might as well just go with Gonsolin then. If you're just going to go with a cheaper pitcher, it just makes more sense because Chris Bassett's the same price and the win equity is just far bigger for the Dodgers. So that's easy. Lineup builders tonight: Ryan Mountcastle, Mayor's favorite at 3.2 on DK. Nico Horner 3.5. Tyler O'Neill 3.5 on FanDuel. Bryson Stott, your boy Welsh, at 2.3. Free square. Austin Hayes doesn't get enough credit. Hit a home run again yesterday, 2.9. Ali Rutschman 2.3. Tyler O'Neill 2.7. Game stacks. Baltimore's kind of a sneaky decent one tonight. Then on top of that, you get the Yankees, Boston, Dodgers, and the Atlanta Braves, which brings us to our home run call of the evening. I'm going to go with Giancarlo Stanton to make a Stantonian blast, which, by the way, that announcer, John Sterling, is now dialed back his schedule. So I don't know if that was some pressure from the top, or maybe he's 84 years old now. I did not know he was that old either. So good on him. 84 years old, still calling baseball games. But he's taking a step back. But Giancarlo Stanton takes a step up. Give me Stanton against Chris Archer tonight. That guy throws batting practice. Speaking of batting practice, Welsh, where are you going with your home run call tonight?
I'm going to play a little BVP. I think there's some big names that you could go with, but I'm going to go with a catcher. Can I get quadruple points for a what the hell is today? Wednesday? Call for a catcher?
I think that was a one-day thing. That's a one-day thing. If you maybe we can do any Contreras for two tonight. Either
any Contreras. That's right, because I'm going to go with Wilson Contreras. I like it. Any Contreras for two. That has any a Contreras you pick, you get double sweet tonight. Ring for it. I'm going to go with Wilson Contreras. This is a BVP play. He's hitting over 500 career against Jordan Lyles. Has a couple homers. Is not striking out when he's up against him. It's a small sample size, but 50% of the time with his hits, he's hitting bombs. So yeah, 2 for Contreras tonight. I love it.
The king has spoken. Anyone named Contreras, you get double points tonight. Put it in the books, Wonk. Do it. Make it so. Yeah, man, it's been a fun look. I can't believe how many home run calls yesterday. That is stunning. So I just want to give a shout out.
Day?
It's gotta be. I mean, that's unbelievable. 50 home run calls in one night. That's just wild. So you guys are crushing it, and we're just so happy. And look, this is an opportunity. Once again, it's only the 8th of June. Come join our Discord for free. FantasyPros.com/chat. Join it, check it out. And if you are a premium Fantasy Pros member, you get all of the perks of being able to make the home run contest, hanging out in the stages. Football's right around the corner. We got all these AMAs and these stages where you can actually get up and talk with us about your fantasy teams, baseball, football, whatever you got. We got betting stuff in there too. It's so great. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Fantasy Pros MLB YouTube channel and get yourself some stakes. And over at Omaha Steaks, again, go to the search engine. Put in leading off in the search engine on the Omaha Steaks website, and that's going to take you right to the page, get you the extra burgers, because Joey P knows you like the burgers. I like the burgers. I want the cheese. I want the bacon. I want the lettuce. I didn't used to like lettuce on my burgers. It's, again, as you get old, your taste change. This is just a part of life wealth. You can get like a nice maybe Bud Light lime there, too, something like that.
I'll do that. That sounds good.
Summary. Yeah. Something summary, maybe a Leinenkugels.
Yeah. A Leinenkugels, yes. I love me the Leinenkugels. Yeah, maybe
it's a summer. It's a refreshing sauce of lemonsy. Yeah, I like it in my mouth. It tastes good on my palate. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for the Welsh. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Yeah.